So good afternoon. Here we are in Newport, Newport West in fact, where there's a by-election on Thursday the 4th of April. I'm here with the leader of the UKIP group at the Welsh Assembly in Cardiff, Gareth Bennett AM. Good afternoon.
Hi Richard.
Good afternoon. So basically, just to talk about a few things that are relevant here in this by-election that UKIP is unique for. One is that it's the only major party that has the policy of abolishing the Welsh Assembly. That's a very key policy. Gareth very kindly invited me down to Cardiff a few weeks ago. I was appalled by the waste of money, the amount of money being squandered there, and of course Labour has been run as a Labour fiefdom for very many years. The health service in Wales is in crisis. After 20 years of devolution, we're no further forward. What are your thoughts on it, Gareth?
What you just said, Richard. No, it's been a Labour fiefdom the whole time. It's 20 years since we had the first Welsh Assembly elections in 1999, and Labour have run the show for 20 years, sometimes with a coalition partner. We've had diminishing results in health, education and the economy. Certainly the Welsh Assembly has given us no devolution dividend whatsoever. We're probably worse off relative to other regions of the UK than we were in 1999. This is this is evident from the statistics that we can see. So I think that our policy is correct to give the Welsh people a say in a referendum which would be held in 2024 on the 25th anniversary of the Welsh Assembly coming into being, because we've had only one meaningful referendum on the existence of the Assembly. That was in 1997, before we even had the Assembly. Surely now, after it's been running for 20 years, it's about time the public was given the chance to have their say on whether they think it's actually a good thing and whether it's doing anything, whether it's achieving anything for the Welsh taxpayer.
Can you name me one positive, beneficial thing the Welsh Assembly has achieved in 20 years?
Well, there's one or two things. I mean, we have free prescriptions in Wales, which isn't the case in England, but then even that is questionable whether that's a benefit, because the National Health Service in Wales, in many areas, the results are worse than the results in England. So actually, is it actually beneficial to have that policy? But nobody really discusses that. But there's free bus travel and things like that. There are some things that they've done. I wouldn't say they haven't done anything, but overall, I would say our position as a region of the UK is worse than it was in 1999.
Well, coming from England this morning, from Gloucester, I noticed the tolls have gone on the Severn Bridge since February this year. I believe that was initially UKIP policy that's been adopted by the Assembly. Is that right?
Well, we did back that policy. We weren't the only party to be in favour of that policy, to be honest, and we probably didn't originate that policy, but certainly that was a policy that we were campaigning for in the Assembly, and shortly after our arrival in the Assembly we did get the abolition of the tolls, so certainly we contributed to that happening.
And here in Wales, in this by-election now, Newport, we can send a message from Wales directly to Westminster. Obviously Brexit is key. What are your thoughts now on the situation with Theresa May, tumble-down Theresa, and Brexit and its effect on confidence and jobs in Wales?
Well, we seem to have a lot of uncertainty, and as we don't really know when we're leaving, because we passed the Brexit day yesterday and we're still in the damn thing, then therefore nobody knows when we are leaving or even if we are leaving, so there is bound to be uncertainty and an uncertain climate in which businesses have to operate. Theresa May said that no deal is better than a bad deal, but then when she had the chance of leaving on no deal, she got terrified and she bottled it, didn't she? She chickened out, and we now seem to be in a position where she's contradicted her famous statement that no deal is better than a bad deal. She seems to think that a bad deal is better than no deal. So she's done a total volte-face in the 2 years she's been in power, hasn't she?
So you think the best thing would be for a WTO Brexit, an immediate Brexit, saving the 39 billion?
I believe so, and also if we don't exit soon, hopefully in May or maybe even on April the 12th, if we don't exit soon, there is the danger that we get a long delay of Article 50, and in that time who knows what could happen. There could be a general election, there could be a revocation by Parliament of the whole Article 50 process. I think it's now becoming so uncertain that I think really we have to leave, and leave as quickly as we can, and yes, on WTO terms.
And that would be what would be the best for Wales?
Well, it would probably be better than May's Chequers deal or what's come after it, which is a load of hooey in any case.
So what I don't really understand, maybe you can explain to me, and I was trying to find out earlier on, was there are 40 Welsh MPs in the House of Commons, 40 Welsh MPs, and yet so many matters are devolved to the Welsh Assembly. So what are the 40 Welsh MPs with their salaries and their expenses and all the rest doing in Westminster?
Well, that's a good question. Of course, under the boundary review, the proposal was to reduce the MPs from 40 to 29, partly to take into account the fact that Wales is a devolved region, or devolved nation, if you want to call it a nation. So that has been taken into account. But of course, the boundary review hasn't been implemented. That hasn't gone through. So it is a good question. What do the 40 MPs do? But of course, our solution would be give the 40 MPs something to do by repatriating the powers to Westminster that Westminster had before 1999, when we had this shambles of a Welsh Assembly that doesn't actually achieve anything.
And save all the money, that the salaries and the costs of running the Welsh Assembly, which must be many millions, I take it.
Yes, correct.
So I think that the message really here from Newport West and from Wales in general is send a message to Westminster, vote for Neil for Newport on Thursday the 4th of April. If you live in Newport West, send that clear message, Neil for Newport, and send a message as well to Brussels that we want the Brexit that we voted for. And I think it's 2021, the next Welsh Assembly election, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vote for UKIP in South Wales, in the whole of Wales, in the Welsh Assembly if it's still existing. It's so clear to send that, it's so important to send that clear message from Wales to Westminster. You've got a great opportunity next week. Thank you very much, Gareth.
Thanks, Richard.
Thanks.
If you want to support a return to proper parliamentary democracy and for Britain to unite to make a success of Brexit, join UKIP today. Go to www.ukip.org or phone us on 0333 800 6800.